Hey guys, R4GE VipeRzZ here, and today I'm going to show you how you can potentially fix your computer freezing when you try to go into the BIOS. So at the minute, if I try to go into the BIOS on this computer, it will show the BIOS load screen and then it will do nothing after. It gets stuck. So if I just try to go into the BIOS, you will see what it looks like. So as you can see, it will show the BIOS boot screen and then it will never get past this point. It will get stuck. Now in order to fix this, what we're going to do is we're going to unplug all of the monitors from the graphics card. If you only have one monitor, that's okay. And then we're only going to plug one monitor back into the graphics card. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through all of the different outputs on the graphics card to figure out which one of them is causing the problem. So we're going to hold down the power button on the computer to power the computer off. And we're then going to plug it into the first display output that we can on the graphics card. Then we will turn the computer back on and we will see if we can get into the BIOS. If it boots into the BIOS, then that means the current display output isn't the problem and we need to turn the computer off and then try the same thing again with a different display output until we find the display output that causes the problem. So for me, if I plug a display into a specific display port on the graphics card, then it will cause this. However, it will work fine with all the other DisplayPort outputs. So if I go to my computer and I change the DisplayPort that the display is plugged into to any of the other display ports, then it should be able to boot into the BIOS. So I'll just go to do that. Now I'll just reboot into the BIOS again. And now I've changed the port on the graphics card that the monitor was plugged into. So I've changed it from the known bad DisplayPort that I was using to one of the other ones on the graphics card. It has now booted into the BIOS, so now I will just plug the rest of my monitors back in, making sure not to plug any of them back into the known bad display port. So now all of the monitors are plugged back into the graphics card, however, none of them are plugged into the display port that was causing the problem. So now if I try to boot into the BIOS now, so as you should hopefully be able to see, all three of my monitors now work, and I can now boot into the BIOS. Now that was all caused by one of the display ports not working nicely with the BIOS. Now if this doesn't solve your problem, you're going to have to get more advanced. So you might have to do things such as remove all of your RAM sticks and reseat them. If that doesn't work, then remove all of your RAM sticks and put only one back into the correct slot for a single stick of RAM. You will have to check your motherboard manual to figure out which slot it is. Then if that doesn't work, then you will want to unplug as many things that you can that you do not need installed. So for example, any expansion cards that are not needed, anything you can do to reduce the amount of devices that could be causing the problem. Then if that doesn't work, you want to reset your CMOS, or if you don't have a CMOS reset, you will need to remove your motherboard battery, leave it out for around 5 minutes, and then put it back in, and then turn your computer back on and see if it goes into the BIOS. But as you can see, none of that would have fixed this monitor problem, so that is why I would try this first, as it is easy to do and could save you a lot of hassle. So guys, if you liked the video, don't forget the like button. If you dislike it, hit the dislike button. Subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you another time. Bye.